It is now 8:26 p.m. Central Standard Time on August 17th, 2014. And the file I'm going to play is from April 6th, 2014, 3:52 p.m. Central Standard Time, within a minute to two of there. It's 27 minutes and 11 seconds total running time, and I'll just keep, I haven't figured out where the button is. If there is a button, I'm pretty sure there is one somewhere to make the screen on the phone not go dim, so I apologize for that, but I'll keep the focus on the phone so you can see that the file is running continuously, as well as probably hear that it's running continuously, but it's not on an app that I want to show any hostile party that I have available. So I'm going to hit play. Oh wait, I don't think I've adjusted the volume. Okay, I might have to adjust the volume a little bit after it starts, but I think it should be, I don't want to make it too loud or too quiet. Let's see, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. I think it's on 8. That should be good.
Hello? Okay. I have to ask you, for the record, as of today, April 6, 2014, do you know somebody, like a professional mental evaluator, to have had a legitimate reason to question my mental competence?
I've never known any that know you. How could I?
So is your answer yes or no?
Well, it has to be no, because I've never known a single person that had that capability, that knew you or knows you. I don't know anybody that knows you like that. I couldn't make that assessment.
Well, what if I were to have walked into a hospital seeking help for concerns about when my heart was acting up and my thyroid was acting up, and I had been diagnosed with Hashimoto's encephalopathy, also known as steroid-responsive encephalopathy associated with autoimmune thyroiditis. Do you think that somebody with a diagnosis letter from a doctor in my hand, do you think that somebody like a doctor would legitimately ignore my concerns and should immediately be seeking to try to potentially diagnose me as mentally incompetent?
Mental incompetence, that's such a nebulous abstraction that I don't even know what that means. But I do believe there would be people that would ignore a letter like that or ignore anything you told them. There are many doctors like that. No matter whether it's because they're busy or whether it's because they're narcissistic or whether it's because they simply don't trust other doctors except themselves. For whatever reason, there's many doctors I think that would do that.
Percentage-wise, about how many?
You're saying you're mentally incompetent. I think that would be believable.
Okay. And percentage-wise, so you say you think it would be a leap to decide that I'm mentally incompetent?
Based on the scenario you just painted, yeah, definitely.
based on your knowledge of me in general?
Well, I don't understand the question. If I were in the ER and you came in with a letter, would I ignore what the letter said and think that you were mentally incompetent? I never have ever thought that anybody would ever think you're mentally incompetent.
Percentage-wise, about what percent of doctors do you think, like how common do you think it is, percentage-wise among doctors, to ignore a letter from another doctor like that?
Oh gosh, I don't know. It depends on their expertise. If they don't feel comfortable in that, they probably would ignore it. Or send you to a specialist, recommend you go see somebody else. If they're confident and feel comfortable in that area, I doubt that they would ignore it. So I don't have a clue.
Okay, you're saying
Special. It's a very special type of diagnosis that would probably be limited to, I don't know, small percentage of doctors in the U.S. that would feel comfortable and confident. Do you even know what it is?
do you even know what the diagnosis means?
Yeah, because encephalopathy generally is a neurological term that refers to delirium. And instead of using the word delirium or delirious, neurologists use the word encephalopathy. So that would take, and to go with Hashimoto's encephalopathy would take somebody that's really a specialist in that area. And we combine neurology with an expertise in thyroid. And I don't know any like that.
Yeah, I think that
I don't know anybody that would ignore it. I mean, they might refer you somewhere. If they were honest with you, they would say, look, I really don't know anything about that. Why don't you go talk to so-and-so?
I think that the specialty that I've come across in terms of the category that seems most suited to review that, and they did have somebody at University of Colorado Hospital that fit that specialty, but I was prevented from seeing that person, is a neuroendocrinologist.
Okay.
I mean, do you know of a specialty or subspecialty that is more suitable to review that type of issue?
Well, if it involves thyroid and encephalopathy, because I've already stated, that encephalopathy is a neurological term that refers to delirium. And anything related to the thyroid is going to require a specialist in endocrinology.
So a neuroendocrinologist probably would be the most specific. Okay. And then as far as passiveness, aggressiveness, or passive aggressiveness, or assertiveness, do you consider me to be assertive, or passive, or aggressive?
I think, yeah, sometimes all of them, all the above.
Generally, would you consider me to be assertive, or passive, or aggressive?
No, I don't think I could say one over the other.
Well,
There are times when you are represented by one form, and other times you're represented by a different form, and other times represented by the other one.
I I have asked you this question recently. It was to do with somebody who was quite verbally abusive toward me, and it made me wonder if I was too passive for them to feel comfortable to speak to me in that manner. And I asked you, is the problem that I myself am either too passive or too aggressive or something like that? And I took a test in a book at the bookstore, all because I was concerned since somebody felt at liberty to speak to me in that way, or to actually verbally abuse me in that way. And you answered me very clearly that, you consider me to be very perfectly assertive.
Very well.
At the time, you said you consider me to be perfectly assertive, that you would expect that if I took a test like that I probably would score very highly to perfectly on the assertiveness scoring.
Well, I think given the circumstances, you would. Depending on the circumstances. So, I mean, we can such broad generalization that for me it's very difficult to analyze, evaluate, and come up with a specific answer. It all depends. If the person is obviously narcissistic and in their own self involved in that, then if they have a tendency because of that or whatever their problem is to be abusive toward you, then you can react or act in a whole lot of different ways. And it wouldn't mean that you're one way or the other. It would only mean that your behavior during that circumstance and that situation was such and such. And it could be anything.